I'm doing it, so sorry. Yes, do you see my screen? Amazing. And we can start. Welcome on the webinar, How to Track My TM. And first, for sure, we need to understand who is these TM people and what are they doing in the LC except admission, because it's not only one thing which we are doing. So first, role of TM person and TM department: to create environment for recruitment and development necessary amount of people, required profiles on certain positions to achieve the goal of LC and keep it stable. I already show like same things on Ignite conference for LCP elects, but we'll have some new at the end. So for you, it will be just reminder also to elect the good profile and right profile for this position as soon as possible, especially for LCs who have no TM person right now. So to create environment, this is about engagement, how to engage people in LC life, in IC culture, and so on. Recruitment, admission, this is simple. Development, it means education in team standards. Why? Because how we develop people, person need to understand what he need to do, like how exactly. This is about education, functional education, and team standards, to feel that someone care about him, someone works, someone help him to develop and lead this person on his IC grade. Necessary amount of people, HR needs, and capacity building. First, before admission, we understand how much people we have right now in the LC, how much people will continue their way in the LC, and capacity building during performance and more close to closing. We need to understand, okay, how much people we have right now who will continue their positions, what we need to do to make our candidates for team leader or for vice president position even stronger, to have enough knowledge, and so on. This is capacity building. Required profile, this is about selection. We need people who really want to develop themselves, who close to our values and to our mission. If person don't want to develop, we can't do anything with it. On certain positions, it's about allocation, because if we will allocate person on the wrong position, first, he will not feel satisfied and he will not feel comfortable. Second, probably he will not bring you results, because he can capitalize on his strengths and fulfill his profile. And achieving the goal of LC, this is about performance management. Yes, this is part of team standards, but this is the biggest part of team standards. For building, we have few weeks, like ideally. For closing, ELSA and performance, this is the rest of the time, from 2 till 3, 4, or even more months. And this is the stage which help us to achieve the goal of LC. And keep it stable, its leadership pipeline, to be sure that we have enough people, not only to fulfill needs which we have right now, but also to have people who will continue develop LC and be sure that everything will be continue after you. Lag measure, the same MOS. The main goal for TM on LC level and on MC level, percent of members who achieve their goals, because it means that people are developing inside organization and they help to fulfill needs of organization. Lag measure, number of people and retention rate. Why? Okay, we can have just have 100% of members achieving their goals, but if in LC just 10 members, usually it's not enough. So we need to understand that we have enough people in LC. And retention rate, if we recruit 100 people and only 10 stay, this is also not the development which we want to have for our people inside the organization. Yes, this is TM process. This is on what all people in TM department work. Like probably you will go on this conference, and I'm sure that will be TM part. They add one more thing here. It's report. Why I didn't show it to you right now, because I didn't implement it yet on LC level, like the proper report. It will happen, I think, on Brinka and mostly for the new generation. Um, like I will not explain you everything, because I will explain you like in JD format. This is JD of TM person. So you see, there is not only get, there is like a lot of more other things. So forget what TM need to do. First he need to, yes. First he need to make HR need planning to understand, okay, how much people we need, on which positions, which profile, and so on. So how you can measure it? Your TM have recruitment planning done. This plan for admission need to happen the latest 2 weeks before start. Why? Because you need to prepare a huge amount of things before, or you will prepare it during admission and it will influence on your results. And the last column, this is the synergy which need to happen here. And here synergy LCP OGX, because we need to understand the needs of department, and LCP because this is like final responsible of LC and he can share the bigger picture, like okay, which LC we want to have at the end of our term. Next, team leaders, education and election. For sure, before admission, we need to elect team leaders who will work with the teams and educate them beforehand. Why? Because people will be more confident in what they're doing, and they can start to working with their teams on the league. And league is the perfect touch point to start work with the members. Why? Because you are together for 1 or 2 days fully in one place, and team leaders can use it to know their members more, to start working with them, to build these human relationships. How you can measure percent of positions covered and percent of education covered. Um, Synergy, the same, LCVP or GX, and finance and legality if this person is finally responsible for all elections in the LC. If it's LCP or TM or someone else, so like it will be synergy with this person. IXP, this is part X plus T, exchanges plus experience inside the organization. Because IXP returnees and like ICPers who was on the internship, the perfect pipeline for team leaders, for vice presidents, and this is the first people who we can reintegrate after their experience. So the measurement can be returnees integrated in LC and synergy for sure LCVP OGX. Onboarding process. Okay, we recruit all people, but it doesn't make sense to have people without any education and adaptation of these people. So onboarding also part of GET, because without it, GET is not fulfilled 100%. What does it mean manage onboarding process? So TM is sure that building part of team standards happening in each team, and each member have basic education for start their work right now. Basic education not only in function but also about organization. How we can measure it? Each member bring first results. Why exactly this and not percent of education covered? First, because this make us sure that it was quality education, because also you can cover education in different way, and if you covered it like in one way just to make it covered, people probably will not understand, or it will be only theory, so it will not help members to work anyhow. And if this proper education, you teach people by practice, if people don't get it, you notice it and you cover it one more time through another perspective or through another format, it will bring you results at the end. And like for onboarding process, so we put 2-3 weeks right after admission, so like people can have their first result, not in approved, but maybe in sign up, in apply, in accept, like to have some result. and it will show them that organization really helped them to develop something and to make some impact. For sure, this is synergy with LCP OGX because TM is not covering everything. Most of functional education covered LCDP, and TM need to be sure that it's happened in the right way, and it will bring result at the end. Each member have expo account and role. How we measure percent of members which expo account and role. Why it is important? Because if person don't have expo account, probably he's not working. Why? Because we're working in expo, simply. Going to the next part, develop. How we can measure this stage. This is percent of goal achievement of each member. How we make it happen, team standards, education and implementation tracking. How we measure team standards fulfillment. Now you have amazing tool. I think like all LCPs who don't have TM right now know how to use it. So you're just working with in synergy with LCP OGX, and tracking is necessary, like touch points happen weekly, monthly, building, closing, and so on. And also to understand, okay, how it influences on result, which we have an answer right now. Next one, national educational cycle implementation. Also percentage of fulfillment. We have amazing tool when it divided by topics like general knowledge for team leaders, OGV, OGT, OGE, soft skills. So here you can find all information. Also here's a tracking tool when you can see the progress. And to be sure that all necessary education your members have. Also in synergy with LCVP OGs, because this is the first person who provide most of this education. To be sure that it's done in the right way, and also how it influences on result. IC Hub implementation. How we can measure number of users. Why? Because IC Hub is an amazing platform. Yes, it's not working properly sometimes, but there is a lot of information, not only from ICT Spain, but members can search in some GCPs, some another perspective of work from another entities, and it also can be good and influence on how they're working. And the last thing here, this is how we also can develop people inside the organization. This is amazing IXP, but the other side, T plus X. So when person was in organization and then he is going on exchange. How we can measure percent of members go on exchange, and also this is in synergy with VP OGX. Why it is important? I put it in engagement survey. We talk about it a lot because these people, this amazing pipeline for the next team leaders, vice presidents, and presidents, because they understand not only how we like sell this product and how we're working on this product inside ISIT, but he feel this product and feel this impact, and he committed much more to organization and to product. Next part, keep. How we can measure it? Simply retention rate, how much people stay in organization. How we are doing it? First, retention rate, creation and implementation. This is how we appreciate people of their and their efforts inside the organization. How we can measure number of participants, because you can make amazing rewards and recognition system, but if no one participates, doesn't make sense. The main synergy LCP. Why? Because rewards and recognition support not only have results, it can support also the behaviors which you can see in your LC, and to support culture in the local community. Next one, engagement survey, answers collections, local analysis and report. How you can measure percentage of answers and report to be done. What is important? I think all of you already saw the report which I did, national one. Now I'm working for personal report for LCs who collect more than 90% of answers, and like now I'm working in Belterra, and they're really good insights for the LC, and it helps you to understand even better and even deeper the situation which happening right now in different departments, in different spheres. Yes, and why it's really needed to not only to have national one but to do report for your local committee, because you understand the things according your LC and what you need to do or to change or to implement in your local committee for members to feel better, to be more satisfied with their experience, and for sure to have more results and to make more impact in our amazing world. Synergy, LCP, OGX, because when we collecting answers, we pushing members and team leaders through vice president. And last one here, organize LC meeting and local conferences. How we can measure percent of members participate if we are doing local conference or LCM and only few people come. It doesn't make sense to create this huge event just for 1, 2, or 3 people in the LC. And NPS, for people who don't know, it's network promotional score. This is how we measure satisfied people with content of LCM on local conference. We also have it on national conference. And it helps us to understand, okay, what was good and what we need to improve for the next time. For this, we also have synergy with LCP. Why? Because it's also supporting not only just results or operations, but the strategy for the whole LC, culture of your LC, and behaviors, what you want to have in your EB team, and also for sure vision of EB. And two part, this is more like operational. Work in synergy. You see a lot of synergy with OGX people, more than a half, so it needs to happen. How you can measure it? Retention rate and goal achievement in department. And your PTM, and in Ignite folder you can find the one page how ideal synergy look like, with some of them TM working in this synergy, so you can understand how it's working. If not, please tell me, I will push this person. And internal HR brand, what does it mean? Okay, HR brand, this is how people think organization work with employers, like inside the organization. And there is can be internal HR brand and an external. External is more about admissions, how we promote, how we present it, and so on. But internal, how people perceive it inside the organization. And what did it include? It includes culture creation and implementation, because you need to have your own identity, your own behavior, and this is what unite LC. How you can measure it? Have a strong LC brand and how much people committed to this brand. And internal communication, because yes, all of us have this amazing Instagram, but this is two ways how you can do it. You can just post it random things which happening, or you can create proper strategy how you can use this internal communication, these internal channels, to make your goals happen, to make people feel the culture of the LC, vision of your EB, and to follow the behaviors which you have. How you can measure it? Number, percentage of members in the channel, and to have proper plan how you will use this channel. Both in synergy with LCP. Why? Because it's also impact in the strategy of local committee, in the long-term perspective, in the vision and behaviors of EB team. And yes, this is your synergy with TM. Like more detailed, which I put on this slide. I don't have here like a lot. This is on what you're working and how you are working on it. For get HR need planning, you sit and plan together. Simple. After TM collect all information from functional VPs. For driving LC and EB to be involved, this is important because TM can't do admission alone. It's just one person, especially for the big LCs. And he is not final responsible for admission. Like he's final responsible, but not only one person who need to do it, because like other people will work with these people. So everyone need to be involved in it. First LCP, then EB, and then team leaders. How you can do it? Be role model. If TM asks to feel something, to do something, to post something, you are the first person who do it. And by your example and by pushing involve EB and LC in activities, and TM is responsible to prepare all these activities. Tracking plan fulfillment. You have weekly meeting with your TM who prepared all statistic, all result, and plan. And you help him to analyze, okay, what happened, what was not happened, why, what is our current state right now, what we need to change, what we need to improve, and so on. So how we can achieve our goal. And emotional support. Why? Admission is really hard time. Not only in Spain, it was the same in Russia, it's the same for in all entities because it's a lot of processes. Especially your elect, I hope they will have people inside the LC with whom they need to work to have this closing, team leaders election, and so on. And in parallel, they have admission preparation and then admission. And this is a lot of process in short amount of time. Also, they have the university, personal life, and so on. And you need to support this person not to burn out and not to freak out of something. And how you can do it to check mood of your TM, better to have daily communication and really ask person how person feel and have this level of trust for person to tell you if something goes wrong or he feel not really good. Also, expectation settings before admission will help you a lot to make it in a proper way. For develop, we have amazing board of leaders. How you can influence on it to have meeting with these people and just to make agenda together with TM. Because yes, you as LCP have big picture of LC, big picture of the entity, and TM have understanding how people feel, what is the current state of people right now, members and team leaders. And together you can understand, okay, how based on current state which you have with people right now, we need to make things which need to happen. For keep roles and recognition, you sit and plan together, and then you are the first person who driving it inside the LC and involve one more time EB and LC. In organization, LCM local conference, also you sit and plan together how it need to look like, but don't forget here to have clear JD division. Like not we are together doing agenda, no. One person fully responsible for agenda, for tracking EB to be 100% prepared and so on. And you can be responsible for some sessions or like for tracking EB, for example. You need to understand, okay, what needs to be done, who will be responsible for what. In synergy, you need just to be sure that this synergy happened. I'm really advised you to check this synergy meeting on EBMs. And if you see some misunderstanding during EBM that TM are not aligned with operations or they have questions to each other or like they start to fight, you need to be sure that this topic they will discuss about it on synergy meeting, and maybe during first months or 2 months you can be present on this meeting if it needed, or like later if you see that it became like in the bad way, you also can be present and just check and give them feedback how this synergy meeting need to look like. For internal HR brand, for culture, yes, you facilitate creation as LCP if it's session on LCM or on local committee, and make it happen like together, and together create with TM implementation plan, because it's not enough just to create a culture and that's all. You need to understand how you will use this culture every day, every meeting, each touch point in all channels which you have. And for internal communication, also you sit and plan together what will be the goal for this month for internal communication, what need to happen, what I need to drive in which format you will do it, how you will collect feedback from your members, and so on. And I hope this is last part. Yes, this is last part. Yes, this is follow-up of what need to happen. On each touch point with you for your amazing TM person. On ABM, you check statistic, retention rate, national educational cycle, team standards, and outputs from synergy meeting. Like what they decide, on what they're working together, what happened, what was not happened, according to synergy. Uh, Obvious thing which need to have not only TM but the whole team, report of previous week focuses and presentation of focuses for the next week. So you understand what person did and person will do, and you understand how it work on the individual strategy and for strategy for the whole LC. An extra thing, if you have data, TM can prepare retention rate dynamic per department right now and compare with previous year. It will be really good because you can prevent some mistakes which you did before. During your synergy, for sure, agenda and preparation for LCM and board of leaders. Then progress of current processes like its admission or its reward and recognition system or its internal campaign or it's something else. And also you check content plan for ICOM. Monthly, the same statistic, also report of plan for previous months and for the next months. And extra, the same retention rate dynamic per department and a report of current process for everyone in the team understand like what is the current thing on what TM is working, what is the progress and which result he or she has. During one-to-one, check personal strategy, like individual plan of the person. Check necessary level of knowledges. Why it's important? Because most, yes, most of you will not have TM like even experienced member, and you have no capacity to have like proper transition. So when person will have this personal strategy, you need to understand, okay, you have these things, but do you understand how to work on these things? If not, this person go to me, go to other TM, or something will cover it on national conferences. Check personal challenges. Why? Because where people can have some obstacles, we can have some fears. Something is not going in the way how we plan, and you need to understand: is your TM have things like this, and how you can support, or what you like help this person to understand how he or she can overcome it. It's really important because this is how a person also develop. Yes, and how to analyze previous months and implement the changes. The most important thing in one-to-one, not only for your TM or for AB, for everything, you're not, during one-to-one, you're not giving advice to the person. You're not like the first person who's speaking, you're person who asking. And by these questions, right questions, you guide this person to understand everything by him or herself. It is really important because if you will try to give some thoughts or to push for something, person will not have ownership for it and it will not happen. But if you will guide and person will realize the thing by himself or herself, it will work much better. Maybe it will not happen from the first time. It's normal because we are like learning everything by practice. But with experience, with a few meetings, it will come and it will help you. And the last for quarter review, the same statistic. This is the minimum things which need to happen. If you have other ideas, which data you can present, always ask about it. And don't limit the TM for statistic which he or she can present because it can be interesting and useful for everyone. Report for previous quarter focuses and focuses for the next quarter to understand on what person will focus and what he will do. And extra the same retention rate dynamic and report of current process. Yes, and people is a core. Always care about your people and work with them on all levels. This is all from my side. I don't know how to stop the translation. Even I'm not sure that it's going. Where it is? Okay, I hope I did it. I don't know. If not, I will record it one more time. So, do you have any questions for me based on all this information? Yes, yes, yes. And this is this like I will send it to you for sure. And this is only one slide difference from PPT which you had on Ignite. You're welcome. I can't find. Ah, I found it.